So, right before, 2 weeks before opening whitetail season here in Wisconsin, we'll talk about something. Okay. So, shoot my hunting arrows, obviously making sure to get my hunting sight dialed out. We'll talk about spines. Okay. Literally 2 days ago, we were shooting a shoot here at Ettrick, Wisconsin. And it was a fireman shoot. Okay. Awesome shoot put on by a private guy. Trophy Adventure Bear Baits, Eric Hughesbo. Super awesome dude, super awesome shoot. But end of the day, we were doing a long range challenge, 140 yard. Try to pop a balloon. It's probably about a 6 to 8 inch balloon. Well, I ended up popping it. And talking about tuning here. Okay. That was on a 300 spine Rip TKO with 125 grains up front. Okay. When I originally tuned this bow right here, it's an Elite Envision, 27 1/4 inch draw, 71 pounds, 334 IBO. I shoot my 3D arrows, which are a Rip TKO 350, at 383 grains, 15.2% FOC, at 385 feet per second. 285 feet per second, sorry. This arrow right here is a Rip TKO 250 spine. I shoot this arrow at like 257, 258 feet per second at 540 grains with 233 grains up front of this thing at 19.7% FOC. Both of these arrows, between a 350 spine Rip TKO bear shaft and a 250 spine bear shaft, they both shoot bullet holes at 10 yards. And there's a bullseye. And there's another one. Okay. And the crucial thing, when you're picking spines, under spine arrows will be an accuracy depleter way before a stiff arrow is going to be. Stiff arrows deplete accuracy when you're not tuned to the stiff arrow. Okay. So if we all understand stiff arrows and light arrows, a stiff arrow is not going to flex near as much coming out of that bow. Okay. A light arrow is going to flex more. A light spine. So when you tune to a really light spine arrow and you shoot a stiff arrow, you see a difference in flight when you're not perfectly tuned to that lighter spined arrow. Okay. Now, if you do it opposite, if you tune to a stiff arrow, which is going to react to an imperfection in that tune before a light spined arrow, it will shoot much better. Okay. A 250 spine arrow at my setup is pretty dang stiff. When you get a bullet hole with a stiff arrow, your weaker spined arrows will shoot really good. That's from going shooting these, and I'm shooting these with field tips right now. But I already did my sighted with them, and I'm shooting the Rip Iron Will wides. I was shooting at 80 yards with my field tips. I don't need to shoot them. They're in my quiver. Put them away. Don't know how to sharpen them again. But 233 grains up front. Okay. Lighted Knox, the whole day. Right there. 250 spine. Okay. So make sure your sight's dialed, man. Get your bow tuned good. Spend the time. I mean, if it takes you 3 days to tune your bow early in the summer or whatever, so be it. Take the time. Get a perfect tune on that bow before you even go away from it. It is going to make the biggest difference out of anything else that is overlooked by so many. Prime example, when we were at this shooting Ettrick over the weekend, a buddy of mine that I finally haven't shot with in like 8 years, he just bought a new bow. He bought the Hoyt Alpha X 33, and he's shooting a full throttle, PSE full throttle before that. And he's a good shooter, really good shooter. And he was struggling yesterday, and I was like, or on Saturday, and I'm like, what's going on, man? He's like, I don't know, dude. Like, I was shooting pretty good, and he was getting frustrated, I could tell. And I got to looking at the bow, and I got to looking at some things, and he was like, every now and then I get a weird flyer, and I'm like, I bet that bow's tune is off. And he had a local shop do it, and I have quite a bit of history with that local shop. And I'm like, I guarantee your paper tune, I bet it's an inch off. Well, last night he got home and he was shooting through some paper, inch to inch and a quarter tears. Big depleter. And after paper tuning that, and his group shrunk drastically, and he's back in the game. Tune is a huge deal, especially when you start shooting long shots like we were shooting there, 140 yards. If you got a bad tune, you're gonna look like the worst shooter in the whole shoot. A bad tune is a bad deal. So, especially fixed blade broadheads, you're never gonna get good flight with a mediocre tune on your bow. So, keep hammering. Season's coming. Get ready.